Popular tourist destinations around the world took a big hit when COVID-19 caused a global shutdown. For the Bahamas, it was a double hit as they were forced to shut down while still recovering from the devastating aftermath of Hurricane Dorian.
But now they're seeing a huge surge of tourists as they become one of the first islands of the Caribbean to accept vaccinated visitors without needing a negative COVID test. Local 10 anchor Janice Fernandez shows us how the Bahamas are bouncing back.
Known for its beautiful turquoise waters and stellar fishing, the Bahamas has always been a dream vacation spot. But it only takes one storm to put a major strain on tourism. That storm was Hurricane Dorian.
But Hurricane Dorian was certainly a storm for the ages, certainly one that none of us want to see again.
Looking back at how the Abaco Beach Resort in Marsh Harbor looked after being hit by the eye of a major Category 5 storm, it seemed almost impossible to rebuild.
The resort sustained extensive damage, whether it was damage to the roofs, the main check-in area collapsed on itself.
For the Abacos and Grand Bahama, Dorian caused $3.4 billion in damages, but the resort never closed its doors and kept most of the staff working. They also worked fast. New hotel rooms, hurricane-proof windows now throughout the resort, a new bistro and lobby, everything was ready to go. One of the first things that got rebuilt after Hurricane Dorian was this marina. And that's because fishermen were eager to come back and get out on the water. In fact, the resort was ready to host fishing tournaments in the spring of 2020. That is until they were hit with another challenge, COVID.
But of course, COVID came, and that basically just blew up in our face.
COVID-19 shut down the world and it shut down tourism. 40 to 50% of the Bahamas economy is a direct result of tourism, with 50% of the people working in the tourism sector. After breaking records in tourism in 2019 with 7.2 million visitors, in 2020, the Bahamas saw a 76% drop.
A global problem that caused the shutdown of every nation. That has been the most difficult period.
Knowing tourism was essential not only for the economy, but to help with rebuilding after Dorian, the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism worked on luring visitors back. While larger islands like New Providence are reporting some new cases, smaller islands like Exuma and Abaco have reported no new cases in the past month. Because of the low numbers, the Bahamas is now becoming one of the first islands in the Caribbean to allow vaccinated people to visit. Non-vaccinated people need a negative COVID test.
There was a hurricane immediately followed by COVID. We need to get people back to work.
And there's been big moves to make the Bahamas even more desirable. The cruise industry, which was shuttered by COVID-19, is finding a new home in the Bahamas. Royal Caribbean and Crystal Cruises will have home ports there. Cruise lines had been barred from sailing in U.S. waters or stopping at U.S. ports since the start of the pandemic, although test sailings will start soon. In the meantime, it's forcing people to find other destinations to set sail.
Many of the cruise lines had to pivot. We know the impact that that will have on our economy is even greater than what we could ever have imagined.
From the sea to the air, according to Cheapo Air, the Bahamas saw a 203% increase in flight bookings in April compared to January. And more flights and airlines are being added.
This summer, for example, for the first time ever, Frontier is starting service from Miami to Nassau.
Bahamians hoping this trend continues. Tourism dollars mean the economy can flourish, but it also means recovery can continue in areas that are still recovering from Dorian.
We need you to come back. We're a tourism destination, and we want persons to realize that without the tourists coming here, we're going to have a much longer time in which to get ourselves back up and running.
Vaccinated or not, you do still need a health visa to enter the Bahamas. You simply upload the appropriate documents. And we're going to show you a lot more on how the Bahamas is bouncing back from Hurricane Dorian. Don't miss our hurricane special, Staying Storm Safe. It airs this Sunday night at 7 o'clock. Your whole Weather Authority team will be making sure you're prepared for this upcoming season, which is already next week.